Now, what I'll tell you is when you stop procrastinating, you're about to start doing things, people will start entering your life again and try to pull you away from it. If you decide you're going to go to the gym at 8 o'clock every morning, something will interfere, whatever the time you picked, will come in and say, well, no, we need to get this done. No, we need to get, all of a sudden, things just come out of the blue. Phone calls, meetings, people try to disrupt your flow. I don't know why. I don't know if they know we're doing it or if it's just out there. You know how they say you're putting it out there and they can feel you're doing it. Do you ever feel that way, Glenn?
Yeah, when I'm in the bathroom taking a number 2 and someone knocks on the door, hey, get out of there.
Well, you are number 2 and I'm number 1.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
But
Even
no,
if
yeah,
you go
you're
to
right.
the
No, you're right.
restroom
Yeah, yeah,
and you go to take a break, you know, that's when your phone rings. Think about it.
Yeah.
It hasn't rung and you're like, oh, well, I got to go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
And it's funny when you're at airports and everything and you hear people are sitting on the toilet and you hear them in the stalls talking business on the phone. I'm like,
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
are you kidding me? You can't even wait till you're done going to the bathroom. And anyway, I don't want to get into that discussing because you're holding that phone. Hey,
Yeah, really.
but that, listen, urgent, important, nice to do, and it keeps flowing that way. At least get a couple things done. Don't let, once you start, procrastination will show its ugly head, and so will some friends, and they'll sway you into going out for drinks or, just get it done. Then you got free time to do anything, and you can do it more enjoyable.
I mean, isn't that really the key to success in general? Is prioritizing, but also organization, right? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't the key to being a successful person is organizing your life?
That's hard for a lot of people. It was hard
Right.
for me, Glenn. You're right. It's actually organizing your life, and that's if you go to people's house, you'll see they almost look like hoarders, but they're not. It's just that they
Right.
didn't get to the laundry. They didn't put their mail away. They didn't
Right.
put their food that they took out to cook for the night before. They didn't clean that up. The dishes are building up. It's not that they're dirty people. It's a lot of it has to do with depression. And the more they see it and the more it builds, the more depressed they get.
Right. And you get that lack of motivation. Like if you have an office and you organize your office, it's amazing how much more motivated you are to work in that office because it's clean. You know where everything is. You don't have to, it's like you're not in this, oh God, I got it. Because now in the back of your head, you're thinking, oh, not only am I trying to do this project, but I got all these other things in this office I have to do. And then you never get to it.
Well, you know
what
it
makes you not even want to work in the office anymore.
I have to admit, and a lot of you are going to say this, I don't want anybody touching anything on my desk because I know where everything is. Right. And it's all disorganized, but we know where it is, especially if you're ADD, right?
Yeah, right.
That's how my desk used to hate. And I hate when people straightened out my desk to try to do something nice for me.
Yeah.
Because now I can't find anything anymore. That's not true. You can. I just didn't feel like looking in that pile.
Exactly.
Because I knew exactly what pile it was under.
Right. Because what's stopping you from you organizing it? So now you know where everything is if you organize it, but that's just an excuse of I don't feel like organizing.
Well, what's funny is because in some gurus used to say, well, anybody with a desk that's loaded with a lot of confusion means that they're successful and busy. No, it means that they're
genius.
Friggin' piled up with a bunch of crap. And yes, they know where everything is, but it's still overwhelming. There's nothing better than knowing where you filed it, where you put it. Go and get it. It just takes 2 seconds. I was guilty of that. I used to use that as an excuse, but now I hate clutter. I know everything is organized, where it is, where to get it. And you're talking to a severely ADHD person. I put double H in my ADHD.
Yeah.
Okay. My mind is so hyper that I found that it actually helps me better to be organized. It helps my ADHD.
It helps everybody.
So that is key.
I don't want
right.
nobody that, again, it's just an excuse to not want to clean up. But organization helps I don't care what.
The only problem with that is when you get organized, you go from ADHD to OCD.
Yeah.
Which is, they're going to put a label on everything. But listen, Glenn, you're right.
You're never going to win. Yeah.
Organization is the key. Time management is the key. And here's the key when you get into the first step of stop procrastinating. Yeah. Now you got to finish what you start. Like as you started attempting to do some things, you can't do people say I like to multitask. There's no such thing as multitask. You'll never get things done. I can multitask, don't get me wrong, but am I effectively getting things done? No. Okay. You can the law of the mind says you can only focus on one thing at a time. Yes, I can focus on people talking. Yes, I can focus on what's going on here. I can hear what's going on over here. That's the ADHD working, or whatever you want to call it, because that's what they label it. But here's the thing. If you really want to be effective, if you're talking, I'm not listening to this conversation. And because I used to do that, I would be talking to you and then answering the people. They're like, how do you do that? Well, because I'm not really listening to you, and I'm not really listening to, I'm just catching bits and pieces. Yeah. But if I really care about you, I'm going to focus in on you. It's no different than finishing something you've been procrastinating on. Yeah. If you really want to get it done and get it done right. So, because if you don't have time to get it done right the first time, when are you ever going to have time to get it done? Yeah. Because you're going to keep repeating to do it over and over again. So if you're talking, Glenn, I interrupt you a lot, but if you're talking,
sorry, we're Italian,
I should listen to you so that I can understand you clearly. When I'm working on a project, I must finish what I started.
Yes.
Unless I have to wait to make a phone call tomorrow, at least I finished up to where I could, and the office is closed down. I got to call it tomorrow. That goes on tomorrow's list.
And knowing when to start something, knowing when to finish something, but also knowing when to put something off until later and then get to it later. Because what happens is people get sidetracked because they want to do it right now, but it's like, no, that's something you can do later. Is that something
that's a nice to do or important? But right now, this is urgent. I did as much as I can. Now it's 5:00. Most offices are closed. So what do I got to do? I got to put this on tomorrow's pile as one of my urgents to complete it.
Yeah.
Unless something else comes in the way. But if what I want to do is get this totally out of the way and done properly so that I finish what I started. It's like having an argument with your spouse or with your partner or whatever. And then you get halfway through the argument and you're like, well, let's finish this tomorrow.
Yeah, hell no. Hell no.
Which some people do. They're like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and they're like, no, let's talk about it tomorrow. Because why? They don't want to face the reality of what needs to be discussed or get done.
Yeah.
So it's no different than procrastinating, than the stuff that you procrastinate on. Yeah. You can't start, hey, I want to tell you how I feel, honey. I really want to express what I'm going through. And I think it's a really important conversation to have with you. But guess what? I don't have time today. So maybe tomorrow. Okay.
You're like a news channel. Like, honey, I really want to tell you how I feel. Tune in tonight at 11.
Yeah. And tune in next week when they actually might get to the point.
Yeah. More on that at 11.
It'll be like a soap opera.